What's up, Serie Addicts? Welcome to another episode. Marco Romano and Tito Yang here to give you guys a recap of Matchday 25 of the Serie A. Also, talk about the Como and Milan match that they didn't play of Matchday 24 due to the Olympics going on in Italy. And talk about the unfortunate Italian team's performance in the Champions League
Wow, yeah.
this week. Not Italy, not off to a great start,
Terrible
and
start.
that is understatement based on how the three matches went this week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially the Juve match. That was awful. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely some interesting results. I would say too surprising, at least on my side, but we'll get into that as well. But setting things off with match day 25 of the Serie A. And this was a match day where we saw a ton of red cards handed out. Four of the 10 matches had red cards in them
Yeah.
that impacted the game. In some cases, a lot more than others, which we'll get into. But starting off with Pisa Milan, 2-1 victory for Milan on this one, trying to stay in the contention for the Serie A title and trying to catch up to Inter, who are still at the top of the table. Good victory for Milan against Pisa, a team that hasn't been easy for the top clubs, I would say, this season whenever they face them.
Yeah. Good header by Loftus Cheek on the first goal. Pretty good cross as
Who's
well.
cheek?
Somebody's left cheek. Somebody's
He
left
has
left
been
butt cheek.
playing well since I think he was out for Milan, but has been playing well at least in the last couple of matches for them.
Yeah. Milan's second goal did not come from a penalty because uh, the kicker actually sent the penalty left of the goalkeeper, Fulkrug, who took the penalty spot. Um, but still, I mean, Milan, ended up getting caught up by Pisa. 1-1.
Unfortunate for Fulkrug though, right? Because he
Totally.
comes in to be that Milan number 9 that they've been missing, right? Same with Roma,
Yeah.
and they try to get him a freebie from the penalty spot, and he puts it wide.
Yeah, that's crazy. But then, the veteran comes up really big in the 84th, and it's Luka Modric with the winner. And he's making the run down the middle of the pitch, and nobody catches up to him. That's incredible.
It was a good goal
Yep. He
from
still got
Pisa
it.
as well to tie things up,
Totally.
right, from Loyola
Yep.
in the 71st.
Yeah, great shot.
But the veterans, right, showing out for Milan. This time it was Luka Modric's turn to put on the cape and come out and save the game
Yeah, absolutely.
for Milan in this one. Great goal, right? Run a play. I think can't remember who it was that just touched the ball, put it back into his path, and he pokes it in to the back of the net. Solid goal for Modric on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And a good win for Milan, who keep their position at the top, trying to chase Inter.
But silly second yellow card for Rabiot. Rabiot is the one
Sent off.
that got red carded in this match, 92nd minute. Luckily, it didn't impact the result of the match.
Yeah.
Right, Milan were already ahead. Solid victory, 3 points for Milan on this one, which was expected going against Pisa.
Yep.
Um, didn't see a lot from some of the players that got off to a great start, like Pulisic. But we know that Milan, uh, we feel they're going to be the ones probably with Juventus, although you're not a believer, for the title this season. So good that Milan were able to come away with the 3 points and keep things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, Juve at this point are 15 down. That's not gonna happen. So Juve can forget it. Like they should focus on trying to get to fourth place. Like because right now it's not looking that good.
I don't know. I still have faith that my prediction at the beginning of the season uh, will be true. and they'll come in second.
I
There's
doubt it.
still a lot of football left to be played, so we'll see what happens. But talking about one team that has been fighting in those positions and those spots with Juve, Como playing against Fiorentina. The biggest surprise in the disappointing way this season so far in the Serie A. But Fiorentina are actually able to come away with 3 points and steal 3 points away from Como, which is surprising the way that Como have been playing this season.
That's true. That's true. That was an unexpected result. And you had the ex Juve players Fagioli and Moise Ken scoring, like Ken from the penalty spot.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like Juve's management is terrible because our players can't get a goal to save their freaking lives, like our best strikers, McKennie, and we have everybody from our youth team playing everywhere else and playing well. You know what I mean? I mean, we have like a next gen player starting for or playing for Real Madrid, the center back. It's crazy. And then we have Moise Ken, and we don't have a striker. We go play in the Champions League without a striker, but we had this guy and we just let him go like that. You know, national
Good goal
team
from
striker.
Fagioli as well. Right, hustle goal.
Yeah,
Shot on goal, deflective of a defender, but he reacted a lot faster than anybody else.
yep,
Got the rebound, went past the defender, and
yeah.
scored an easy goal.
The thing is,
And
he was far.
Moisekins,
He was far. It's not like it was like a tap in. Like he got it back. Like he shot his
no,
the
it's a good
defender.
play.
Then he had
Good
to
play.
he had to get around them. So pretty
He was
classy.
creative. He
Yeah,
was able to react quickly and make something out of nothing and
yeah,
get that second shot off and score the goal.
yeah. And I think
Moisekins penalty, nobody was saving that because that was like
Rocket.
perfect placement
Right.
and power
Yeah.
to boot. Put it top bins, nothing for the keeper to do on that one to give Fiorentina the 2-0 lead.
Hmm. Clear penalty too. The guy just clattered the player on the shins, like literally like a very clumsy challenge. Moise Ken basically shot it high, which is risky sometimes, but he put it where nobody can reach it. So great shot. And I mean, and Como got one back, but I'm happy that Fiorentina has finally, gotten a
I mean,
win
but it
that
was an
can
own
help.
goal.
Yeah, yeah. But I think
It's just the way it's going for Fiorentina.
Fiorentina will still be happy that they got a win against a team that is a top tier team this season, And I think this victory, more than for the standings, is gonna do well for Fiorentina's morale going forward.
Let's hope. Let's hope because they got the players. They just
Yeah.
have to get it together.
Yep.
But a stumble for Como, right? Who are fighting to. I think Como's aspirations this season is to try to get to one of those European spots. If they get to the Champions League, I think that would be kind of overachieving.
It would be epic. Yeah.
I think they're en route to potentially finish and get one of those European spots.
Gonna
Obviously,
be
there's a
hard.
lot of other teams contending
Yeah.
for those spots as well. And the way Italy's performing in Europe, they can start losing some of those spots soon if they don't start turning things around and getting some good
Yeah.
results
I mean, it's
in
still gonna be
in
four.
European competition.
It's still gonna be four for next season for sure. But definitely, yeah. This season's results in the Champions League are not looking promising.
And you're seeing how some of these other teams that don't get a like just get one spot right from different leagues and how well they're doing against the supposed top dogs of the top 5 European leagues.
Yeah.
Right, so it's kind of a wake up call, right? And we'll talk about it a little bit, right? Because that we could definitely see it in the results in the Champions League this week.
Yep.
I think it's a little bit bigger than the individual teams themselves.
Yeah.
But good victory for Fiorentina, right? Much needed for them for sure. Then we had another team that has been playing a little bit better, and we expect to probably both of these teams to be contending for those European spots. It's Atalanta and Lazio. Atalanta able to come away with a 2-0 victory in this one. Pen for Ederson, who I was surprised to learn in this one that this was his first goal this season.
Yeah. He
I
does
think
a
it
lot.
was
He
a
contributes a lot, but not necessarily from a scoring perspective, right?
yeah, definitely one of those players that is may not show up on the stat sheet, right, as far as like goals or assists, but Like you said, he definitely adds a lot.
Yeah.
But I was surprised because he usually at least shows up in some way, right? Whether it's with a few assists or a few goals here and there. But good to see him get on the score sheet, and then Zielinski doubling up for Atalanta in the 60th minute, right?
Yeah.
Coming off an injury, coming off a short stint with Inter, which in my opinion, Inter really didn't give him a shot. He was hurt, right, a lot during his time at Inter as well, which didn't help him. And I think having Dimarco and Carlos Argusto made it tough for him to get any playing time. But he's been playing well since joining Atalanta. I think he gives him that versatility because he can also play a couple of different positions, like a lot of their other players up front. So that kind of rotation and having those kind of players seems to be working out for them in the last couple of
So
match days in the Serie A.
also with that victory, first of all, Paladino beat Sarri, which is interesting because it's like a young coach beating an older wily coach with two teams that you could say are almost could be level or so. Maybe Lazio got a little bit weaker by selling Guendouzi and like losing some key pieces, but they're right there. Atalanta have now caught up with Como, 42 points on the table for that battling out for that sixth spot, and Atalanta is gonna be. It's difficult because they're a very offensive team. I mean, typically, right? In the way Paladino's gotten playing now, they've gotten a lot better at attacking. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's definitely very interesting in those last kind of like three spots for the European football right now.
And still quite a bit of football to play, but I think that's gonna carry on. I think those teams are gonna continue to battle. Bologna, I think, are on a free fall, or have been of lately,
But
right?
they're
With
still holding a
four
good
losses in
spot,
a row.
right? Like
Yeah,
they're not
but
free
they had
fall,
four
but they're
four
still
losses in
kind
a
of.
row.
I know,
Sold a
and
couple
they're
of
still
their
like
key
sixth.
players as well.
They're still eighth. Sorry, I would say. But it's crazy how they're still eighth after losing all that. Like imagine if they had won all those games. They have 45 points. They'd be in sixth place. Anyway,
But then to the piece de la resistance, right? The Derby d'Italia, the
yeah,
match that we were all waiting for, and it didn't disappoint, right? It was dramatic as expected,
yeah. Well, it didn't
but
disappoint
not.
you for sure, but the referee completely fucked the game up. And also, Bastoni shouldn't do that, man. Like people should have more. I mean, I understand it's a derby and like by any means necessary and whatever, but I think simulation should be punished very harshly so that players stop doing it because I think it's one of the last things that really really ruins the game for everyone.
Yeah, but punishment would have been that they would be able to go back, watch the play, and give a yellow card to Bastoni and
No, I
instead
think I
of
think they
Kalulu.
should I think they should watch tape after the matches and anybody who's got simulation they should miss the next match. If they do that a
No,
couple
dude, that's
times,
stupid. That's stupid.
no, that's the only way to stop it. Like actually nobody's gonna fucking do a simulation after that. You institute
That's
a
never gonna
rule
happen.
and you say we're not gonna be stopping the game. We're not gonna be stopping the game for it. But if you simulate, like if you go down, there's gotta be like specific cases. Like I would say, if you go down holding your face and they review the video and
Dude,
nobody
it's a
touched your
reaction.
face,
It's a part of football. This
that's
wasn't
no.
premeditated.
You're trying to ruin the
It
game.
was a less than a second reaction. It's something innate that football players,
I know
unfortunately,
they need
it
to
is a
stop
part of
doing though.
football.
They need to stop doing it. That's what I'm saying.
They need to stop doing it, but it was
Yeah.
reaction. But Bastoni was dumb for for simulating, but it worked for him. So how dumb was he really? Because it helped.
I know. I don't think he
And
was dumb. I don't think
Kalulu
he was
was
dumb.
dumb because of what he did, the movement
Yeah.
that he did.
I think Kalulu was dumb.
He pulled away, but he still made the move.
Yeah.
It was one realized, oh shit, I fucked up. I gotta bring my arm back. The other one immediately realized, oh, well, he fucked up. He made a move like it looks like he fouled me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go down.
Honestly, man, I think like both Bastoni and Kalulu did things that are very normal that we see in
Yeah,
every
yeah.
game basically. I'm not saying they're things we want to see happening, right? Because obviously nobody wants to see anybody simulating. And when I used to watch Barcelona when they had like Sergio Busquets and like Neymar and those guys. It was just freaking nauseating how much they went down and touching their faces,
Yeah.
and then when nobody was
Yeah,
looking, they're like, oh,
fucking Neymar was the
it's
crocodile.
it's like
Like he
annoying.
will go down and do 50 cartwheels
Right.
in the ground.
But what I think really fucked up the game was the ref, right? Because you gotta be better than that. Like as a referee, just
Yeah,
let that shit go, man. Like it's
exactly.
you know what I
That's what I
mean?
was gonna say. Like
Like
when I
nothing
when I
happened.
saw
There
it at
was no
first,
foul.
I didn't think that it was gonna be a yellow card. I'm like, okay, whatever, foul.
Foul or
Half is
whatever.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be better in that situation, knowing that both players are on a yellow card. That it's the Derby d'Italia, right? That it's a very
Yeah.
important game
First
for both
half,
teams.
first half you already put a yellow on that player. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think the ref did a good job because I don't think that was the only mistake he made. I think he made a lot of mistakes throughout the match. But again, like Inter won, obviously fair and square because I feel that Juve was kind of running the match until we got the one man disadvantage, and then
I don't think so, because
it was
right before then,
completely.
Inter was attacking, and Locatelli had just saved Juventus, uh, getting a ball out with his chest. It was even before,
Yeah, bro, but
right?
you,
And
you,
we
you didn't even
scored. You guys
score in the
tied it
first
again.
half. It was Cambiaso scoring. It's Cambiaso scoring every goal,
But
bro.
still, you guys
You
weren't
know,
winning. It wasn't like you guys weren't dominating. It wasn't one way. Both teams
we
were
were we
attacking and
were
getting
tied.
chances.
We were tied, and we were visiting. So yeah, we were ahead. From that
That
perspective,
doesn't mean
you
anything.
know, you
So
expect
it's
to
like we're
lose when
playing
you're visiting.
basketball. You're playing in your home court. If the game's tied, you're winning because I'm winning because I'm away. That
Well,
makes no sense.
it was like on the upswing of us basically just running it, and then we got two people
I
that
don't
guy sent it
I don't
off.
think so.
And it was
I think you
just
guys had created more chances and or maybe had a little bit more possession, but
yeah.
that wasn't the case at
Like
all.
in the
Inter
first
had
half,
a couple of good chances
in
as
the
well.
first half, we have more shots. In the
If it was
second
you
half,
were
it was
winning
terrible.
3-0 and it's like, oh, they got red carded and we come back and win, then maybe.
No,
But
but that's not the type of game that changes with a red card. The type of game that changes with a red card is an even match, right? Like if you guys have been winning 2-0 when the red card came out and you guys won 5-0, then nobody would have said shit, right? But it was tied. That's why people are complaining about it. And also because the refs just made a shitty mistake
yeah,
and
and
it, and,
that's
and
why
it
you
ruined the
and
game.
Tinos are complaining
You know,
about it because you guys lost.
it's a bad call no matter how you look at it. So
Okay, but every team has been there. We've been there where we don't get calls our way. That's literally how we lost the Serie A title last season with a bunch of bad calls on our match against Lazio.
yeah, I know. I mean, when it's Inter, they're always
It's part of
bitching about
football.
it, and it's like Juve controls the referees and shit like that. They gotta go to Serie B and shit, but whatever, bro. Like, anyways, deserved win
Oh,
for
I don't know.
Inter because
Maybe
even if
it's up to
you
you at a
even
if
if
you
you
wouldn't
get the
have
one
locked
man
referees, right? Locked them up because weren't
that that
they weren't
that was
going your way.
that
Maybe it
was
wouldn't
not
happen.
that was never proved. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, even if you get one man advantage, you have to do something with it, right? So all credit to Inter that kept pushing, got the lead with Pio Esposito, great goal by him. Juve equalized with Locatelli, with like a lucky shot, obviously, because he doesn't really do that shit all the time.
Nah, it's a pretty good finish in Locatelli.
He
Like
he
anywhere else,
he
he would have
probably
struck that
scuffed
ball. It
it.
wouldn't have gone in.
I know. I think he scuffed it. I don't think he meant to do it. He probably just hit it wrong. Because if he had hit it the way he wanted, it would probably gone to the third row of the fans. But he got it in there. So Juve got like temporarily eluded, and but it always looked like Inter was gonna score another one. Like honestly, like even when we scored the tying goal, I was like, they're still gonna score two more. Cause like at that point in the match, Juve were like just all over the place, and Inter really looked dangerous.
I think once Inter started just letting off shots from outside of the box, they got a lot better. Once they brought in Chalanolu and Zielinski, I think Inter should actually play those two on the pitch a lot more together, especially with Barella uh, not being up to par this season. At least in my opinion, I feel He hasn't been terrible, but he's been worse than last season for sure. Zielinski, on the other hand, has been playing awesome, way better than last season, and I think he just gives you uh, good options because you can't give space to Çalhanoğlu or Zielinski. If you close them out, they can do the
Yeah.
through balls to Lautaro, Esposito, or Turam. It just makes them a lot more dangerous, especially when you have somebody like Dimarco on one of the sides. Inter still have the issue with Dumfries being out, that they're terrible attacking from the right side,
Right.
which hopefully Dumfries comes
Although Luis
back. But
Enrique did get a nice shot in, but that's not the typical stuff he's doing.
yeah, but still, he's got to put in more crosses. He's got to be able to take on defenders one on one a little bit more. You're Brazilian, dude. Like
Yeah.
Jogo Bonito. Where the hell where the
Right.
hell are the feints? Right? Where's the dribbling?
Exactly.
That's literally what we thought we were getting. Somebody that could take on defenders one on one.
Be Brazilian. Be Brazilian.
Exactly. Play the type of football that you played growing up.
Right.
That's all we need you to do. But then Juve kind of fell asleep, giving all that space to Zielinski. That was a pretty easy
They're
shot,
just
right, for
tired
him.
at that point.
Uh, to wrap things up, get Inter the 3 points. I kind of this one has kind of like an asterisk as far as like Kiwu's record against top clubs for me, given the red card and
He did
that
win
we
it.
didn't get to see a full match with full squads. And winning with a shot from outside the box from Zielinski in the 90th minute when you're a man up from the 42nd minute,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that as a win.
Yeah. I mean, it is a win, but like you know, you still got work to do, right? In terms of
Yeah, but nothing to brag about. Right, it's
yeah,
you're happy to walk away with the 3 points on this one,
yeah.
but
From Juve
it wasn't
perspective,
it wasn't a great match.
from a Juve perspective, I'm just lucky they didn't score 6. Honestly, like I feel like that could have gone a lot worse. I mean, we were tied on
I think
at the
you
Inter.
guys had a shot, and I had you guys favorite on winning this one.
Me too. I thought we were
It,
gonna win it.
it just switched way too much once you went a man down.
Yeah.
Once you give Inter possession, and it ended up being about 20 shots to 9 shots, where I feel probably Juve had more shots before the red card that
Right.
Inter.
Right.
So just up, but props to Juve and Locatelli for getting a goal, making it a game, even with the drama. But I would definitely push. I think it's ridiculous the fact that VAR in that type of situation can intervene
That's true.
and just tell the referee like he has an earbud.
Yeah.
Direct communication is like, hey man, you fucked up. Yeah, no, you gotta go back. Look at that.
Right. 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 Exactly. Like you don't even have to stop the whole fucking game to do it. You know what I mean? It's just like why wouldn't
Because
you?
if it's only a pen, because it really changes the game. What the fuck does a red card do?
Exactly, exactly. I mean, it's a second yellow. That's the stupidity. The stupidity of the rule is you can review a straight red, but you can't review a second yellow. That's how stupid the rule is.
Yeah,
I mean, if
really
it results in somebody leaving the freaking field, you should.
What
review
is
it,
a
man.
second yellow? Red. So
Right, exactly. It's so fucking dumb, man. Like I don't get it, but you know, whatever. Props to Inter. Like basically, you have the title in your hands. I mean, you're 7 up above in Milan. So I think from that perspective, I mean, it's not like a huge cushion, but still, it doesn't look like any of us are going to go too far in the Champions League. So it might just be like
Yep.
a race for the title this season. So we'll see. I mean,
Let's see what
Inter can
happens.
still go through. I think Inter will pull it off, but Juve are definitely focusing on the league right now, like from now on.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, sad to see something like that happening in a derby, right?
Yeah.
We don't want anything like that to influence the game.
Yeah, and the other thing
It's
is, until that point, it was a spectacular game. The game was awesome, very exciting, very open.
it is, and it
Both
was a
teams were
stupid
like,
decision from both Kalulu and Bastoni, and then an even dumber decision by the referee
yeah,
that just damaged the game because now Inter you get the win, but you don't enjoy the win.
it's not
Right?
the same. Yeah, it's not the
It
same.
it has an asterisk behind it, and then you're pissed off because you felt that you don't know if it wasn't for that you may have walked away with 3 points,
Could have
maybe
been.
1 point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know who's an asterisk? The referee is an asterisk.
Yeah. Well, I think he definitely, as far as like to your point around penalties, I think the ref is definitely getting a penalty on this one.
Yeah, I think he's getting suspended actually for this terrible performance.
At least an investigation.
Yeah,
Something needs to be done. You sit out for a while.
yeah, for sure.
But then moving on to the next match, we had Udinese playing against Sassuolo. Sassuolo, who have been playing a lot better
Yeah,
since getting some of their key players like Berardi back. Udinese, who have been kind of up and down this season, but have a solid squad. 2-1 victory for Sassuolo on this one. Goals from Lariante and the ex-Interista
Pinamonti.
Pinamonti.
That's
Good to
within
see
2 minutes.
Pinamonti on the score sheet.
It's like they went under with a goal by Solé in the 10th minute from Udinese. Solé, who's been playing really well this season as well.
Not the Roma Sole.
Very interesting play. Solet,
Yeah.
right? Not
The,
Roma,
the,
like
the French defender.
Solé, the Argentinian guy. But yeah, we're talking about the French player, Solé. And then Loriente, which is also French. And then Pinamonti, Italian, obviously.
Italian.
But yeah, but it took him 2 minutes to turn the game around. Loriente scored in 56, Pinamonti in 58, and Sassuolo was rocking and back on top. And how are they looking like standings wise? Let me see. Where's Sassuolo?
Sole, by the way, one of the biggest regrets as an Interista during the market
The
before
market.
the season. Would have been a nice pickup. Dude's a freaking unit. Plus, he can score
Good
goals from
player.
set pieces and create his own opportunities.
So Sassuolo sitting at 32 points, 1 point under Bologna and Lazio. Sassuolo are still 10 points away from any European position or aspirations, but as a newly promoted team, Sassuolo are very, very far. 11 points away from the relegation zone right now. So great job by Sassuolo this season. I think they
Yeah.
are performing above expectations.
Yeah, well, would imagine that for them, right, the main goal was stay in Serie A.
Correct.
So certainly, I wouldn't say overachieving because they have players like Berardi and Loriente, right? Players that have been at Sassuolo for a while and have been pretty consistent and solid for the club.
Yeah.
It's the reason why they didn't stay down in Serie B,
True.
right?
But it's
So
hard to come up.
probably, but I expected them out of the teams that got promoted for them to be kind of the best shot at staying in Serie A
Yeah.
for the following season. And it looks like they're turning things around because it seemed like Cremonese was actually that squad.
And now they're
And
down.
now Cremonese have been dropping some points as of late, and now it's Sassuolo that's kind of picking things back up.
Yeah. Sassuolo are literally right now 8 points above Cremonese, who had started way better than Sassuolo. And Cremonese are only 3 points off of the relegation zone. Right now, Fiorentina 21 points, sitting just three under Lecce and Cremonese. So I expect also Genoa is there, which is a surprise. I wasn't expecting Genoa to be that low, but I expect Fiorentina in the next couple of match days to get out of the relegation zone as they continue their upwards trend. And then we'll
Yeah.
have to see who between Genoa, Cremonese, and Lecce is going to get stuck there with that 18th place, because it seems like Pisa and Verona are way too far down, like 9 points now behind Lecce, Cremonese, and Genoa, who are holding 15th, 16th, 17th place.
Man, I told you that I felt that Fiorentina wasn't gonna stay in the relegation zone. That
I agree.
they have they're on paper, right? They have a mid-table and above team for sure.
Yeah.
It's been crazy how bad they've been doing this season,
Yeah.
but I think they'll get it together enough where they would actually avoid relegation this season. Just judging how some of the other clubs like Hellas,
Mm,
Verona are doing,
really struggling.
which was actually the next game in this match day, right? We had Parma playing against Verona, 2-1 victory for Parma. Goals very early for Bernabe in the 4th minute. Then Verona actually tied things up with a penalty in the 41st minute. And then Pellegrino scored the
That's a
game winner
nice.
in the
That's a
93rd
nice
minute
striker. I like
for
Pellegrino.
Parma.
But I like Pellegrino. He's like a typical big number 9 type striker. And also, Bernabe is a decent player. Like, he has been very productive this
Yeah.
season. He shows up, in some games, and He has quality. He can finish. I like him too. I think he'll end up moving to a bigger team pretty soon.
Hopefully, right? Wearing the number 10, and rightfully so, at Parma, I think he's clearly their best player.
Yeah.
I think he had a solid season last year as well. I know that he's probably being tracked by a number of clubs. I don't know out of the top clubs where he would be a good fit, given the position and kind of the role that he plays.
I think he's going, to a different league, probably Spain
Yeah,
or
that would be
yeah,
my guess because in Serie A, I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head a club that's
no,
kind of the one, the first, second, or third thing that they need right now. Somebody with his skill set and that plays his role in his position.
yeah,
But I could certainly see him going somewhere in the Premiership, right,
La Liga
or
probably,
Liga
yeah,
or the Bundesliga.
yeah,
Some team can benefit from having somebody like him, right, missing that creative number 10 that
yeah,
can create and score goals.
yeah. He's not a big dude, so that's what I'm saying. Like maybe Spain would be a good place for him to
Spain
play at.
may be a good fit,
You know,
and he seems to be that type of player that can fit that type of football, right,
right.
that is played in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Although Spain is kind of changing a little bit, right? It's becoming a little bit more vertical,
Yeah. I mean,
the way that
he
they
is
play.
Spanish, so it makes sense, right? Like
True.
he's from there.
But
So
but even in Spain, which right, we'll talk about it in a little bit later in the Champions League. But Spain is changing a little bit because you see teams how they're destroying this Barcelona ridiculous defensive line that they're freaking doing and playing tiki taka, going all the way up, and then the team just plays the long ball. They get two touches and they score on you.
yeah, it's a
So
way more
I
vertical now. I think like
yeah,
in a lot of places.
which I think is good. It makes the games a lot more open, right? A lot more entertaining,
Yeah, and
and I think it's needed to compete with the top clubs in the different leagues in Europe for sure.
yeah, that changes the also the characteristics of your defenders, like the type of attributes that you're looking for in your center backs and your full backs. You need people who are faster. Like you can't have like these lumbering dudes that used to just stand there because now everybody's running everywhere. So you skipped Cremonese Genoa, which was a donuts filled game, Krispy Kreme, double donuts.
Now we talked about it, right? Two teams. I mean, Cremonese off to a good start. I think Cremonese. It's going to be interesting to see if they can avoid the relegation zone. Surprise for Genoa because they've been playing awesome under De Rossi.
But
So
they're
I was
down
surprised
there.
on this one that it ended in a 0-0. Probably would have gave Genoa a bit of an edge.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, a result that doesn't help either team. Now they're sitting in 15th and 16th position, right? On really, what, 3 points from the relegation zone.
Yeah,
So not good for either club. Obviously, not one of the best matches this during this match day. Not a whole lot to talk about there.
yeah. On the flip side, each team gets a point, and that's the only thing that's keeping either team from being 17th instead of being in a tie for 17th. So you take what you can, I guess, from those types of games.
And finally, Bologna getting a victory against Torino,
Oh yeah,
2-1.
breaking the streak.
And a little bit of help from an own goal by Blasic in the 49th minute. But Blasic makes it up then in the 62nd minute, scoring for Torino. And then Santi Castro, uh, keeping up with his good form as of
Playing well.
late,
Yep.
getting the second and the go ahead goal for Bologna. So they finally get a win and snap, a 4-5 match day losing streak, which
Yeah.
is crazy because
Hmm.
they were back to playing uh, like they usually do or have been performing the past couple of seasons, and then all of a sudden they went off a cliff.
Yep. Exactly. But still, even though that they went off that cliff, the the teams ahead of them, or sorry, the teams below them haven't been doing that well either consistently. So Bologna are actually still sitting in eighth place with I mean 9 points away from Como and Atalanta, but still with a shot to get European football next season. Because it's only 3 matches, and Como and Atalanta are definitely teams that could lose points.
But imagine, right, if they would have gotten a couple of points from those last couple of matches, it would be sitting a lot prettier in the standings right now.
Definitely.
And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's something internal. That's why they've let go of some of the players, some of their key players. Maybe it wasn't a good fit. Right, there was some stuff going on in the dressing room. But at least they get a victory and walk away with the 3 points on this one against Torino, which is another team that has been just had a roller coaster of a season so far, just been
Yeah.
up and down. I think that's the thing consistent about Torino this season. That's they're just going to be up and down and not going to
Yeah.
go on any type of
The
streak.
only consistent thing about Torino is their
Is
inconsistency.
that they're not consistent.
That's facts.
pretty pretty much, but Bologna. Let's see if they can actually make a run for one of those European spots. The way that they've been playing lately, I wouldn't bet on it. I think there are a couple of more teams that are in contention for those spots that not only are playing a lot better, but have a better squad. Quite
Yeah.
frankly, so it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be very tough for them. But like you said, they're still there. They're in the eighth spot. Granted, 9 points behind Atalanta, but still they're in the eighth spot.
Yeah. Still doable, but they gotta find some consistency quick.
Yep. Then we had the other key matchup this match day, which was Napoli against Roma, which ended up in a 2-2 draw.
Yep.
First with Spinazzola getting on the scoreboard with a
But
nice goal
Malen scored
in the
first in the seventh for
Maling,
Roma.
true,
Yeah.
Maling, who's now gone 5 out of 5 games, right? 5 goals in 5 matches for Roma,
He actually scored two in this
which
one, so it'd be six.
yeah, no. With I think with this one it's 5 out of 5,
Oh yeah, yeah. He
but
scored
still
because he got a
it's
brace. It's
ridiculous.
great. Yeah, it's a
It's
great
ridiculous.
start.
Great start for him. Obviously, not what Roma needed. They needed a more traditional number 9, but Maling, at the very least, is scoring goals like crazy since he got there.
Yeah,
Let's see if he's able to keep that up,
yeah.
right, for a longer period of time.
And
But
it
has
used to
been
be
playing
that
awesome.
Roma had a problem with getting goals scored, but now they bring in Malen and he scores a brace, but then Roma doesn't do the Roma thing and they allow Napoli to score twice, right? Because they've been one of the most solid defenses in the entire league, and they had a goal scoring problem. So it's ironic that in a game where they managed to score twice, they actually let Napoli score twice and can defend. Uh, but
But a both good goals. The first one from Spinazzola, granted he got a lucky deflection, but it was a good shot from
yeah,
outside the box.
yeah,
And the one from the youngster from
Santos,
Alison Santos was a pretty nice goal
yeah,
for Napoli. I thought when Alison Santos scored that goal, I thought Napoli are gonna are gonna take this one home. 82nd minute, right? Still quite a bit of match left to play, and it seemed like Napoli were turning that switch. Where maybe if they would have had the likes of Sambo Anguissa, right, and some of the players that they're missing, they probably would have pulled it off. But
yeah.
uh, that's where it shows, right, where you see the effect of them missing out and not having those players.
Exactly. He makes such a difference, like in the midfield, in terms of like getting back possession, and setting up a lot of the offensive plays. Like initially, I think he's done a really good job. But and Napoli miss him dearly, definitely.
And I'm not sure what's going on with Lukaku. It's like he's coming in a few matches late,
Yeah,
right? Hasn't started, I don't think, for Napoli yet. Vergara has been getting a lot of playing time, and he's been doing well. Good to see the youngster, right, reaping the benefits of the minutes and the time he's getting on the pitch. But it's been kind of weird. I would have expected for Lukaku once he kind of got a couple of games under his belt coming off the bench to start from the beginning for Napoli. So
but
not sure what's happening there
I think what's
with the injury,
happening.
but
I think what's happening is that even if Lukaku is in good shape and has come back, or is fit to play, right? I think Hoyland has been playing well and producing recently. So I think it might be kind of a meritocracy based thing where like, yeah, you're back, but this guy's been performing well. He's in better fitness. He's got more minutes in his legs. So, we're going to run with him until he doesn't work out. And, we'll start giving you increased number of minutes, so you can get back your legs. Because Lukaku is a heavy dude. He gotta get back in fitness.
Yeah, with Lukaku, my concern would be that it messes kind of with his confidence. We saw him come in and miss a penalty shot, which is very, very odd for
Yeah,
Lukaku.
yeah,
Can't remember ever seeing him miss a pen.
yeah. But can happen.
So I don't know if it's messing with his confidence. If the injury's part of it, right? He doesn't feel like he's back to 100%, and that's kind of impacting his confidence on the field.
Yeah,
But like you said, definitely the way that Hoyland has been playing has a lot to do with it, and you like seeing that, right? You like seeing players get rewarded, right,
producing.
for the productivity, right, for the effort that they're putting in.
Correct. Last
I just
match, oh,
hope
we
that
had a
it's not
match in.
like a Conte thing that he's just waiting for Holland to break so he can then throw in.
I mean, yeah, he does do that sometimes. Terrible.
It's like let's wait until the tires on this car are completely gone until we put in the
The
replacement
replacement.
car.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so Cagliari Lecce. What's going on with that game?
Cagliari Lecce, good game, right? 2-0 win for Lecce.
Lecce got some points.
Unexpected. I would have thought Cagliari would have taken this one.
Right.
Gandalf with the the goal in the 64th minute,
It's Gandalf.
and Ramadani doubling up in the 76th minute
Gandalf
for
and
Lecce, getting
Radagast.
a much needed win because they get out of the relegation zone for now. Granted, they're
Correct.
only 3 points out of the relegation zone,
That's
but
true.
important win for Lecce, important 3 points for Lecce.
100%.
And the opposite for Cagliari, who now are sitting in 13th spot, only 7 points away from the relegation zone, right? So definitely something that they're keeping an eye on. Did not expect Cagliari to be one of those teams kind of potentially going out, but you never know. There's not that's only 3 games, 3 matches, with a ton of football left to play, so anything can happen there.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And there was one rogue match that we needed to talk about that was missing from the last match day, which was actually played today, which was Milan Como. And that was the game that Milan had in hand. If they had won, they could have gotten within 5 points of Inter. Unfortunately, Milan wasn't able to win. In the 31st minute, Nico Paz, with really good pressing and terrible passing by the goalkeeper, Magnan, Nico Paz intercepts
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike's pass, which I don't know what he was trying to do. That was a ridiculous pass by Magic Mike. He had two players on either sides and he passed it to the center. Nico took it, shot it from right there, beat the keeper. 1-0 lead by Como in the 32nd. And then Milan had to basically try to do anything, everything they could to get back in this game. They eventually were able to get the tying goal in the 63rd minute.
Nice finish from Rafa Leao.
Yeah,
Uh,
great finish from really
ve-
far too.
and very nice pass, right? Fancy chip over the keeper, but that was a very nice pass as well, to set up that goal.
Yeah,
But yeah, class freaking finish from Leao there on that one.
yeah. That pass, you said it. I think the pass needs to be highlighted because it was surgical.
But I think probably the best goal right out of all the games that were played from a Serie A standpoint this week, because this wasn't technically right match day 25, it was
Mm-hmm.
match day 24, kind of makeup match. But yeah, fortunately for Inter, Milan, and the rest of the teams in the top of the table, Milan were able to drop a couple of points
Yep.
on this one, against Como, which
Helps
tough
you get.
matchup. Another red card in this one in the 80th minute. Allegri
Yeah. Hey,
got tossed the fuck out.
yeah, he takes his jacket off,
Uh,
starts running out of the field. Like,
got sent. But yeah, I think for this one, unfortunate for Mina, but that pass from Magnan, like there was no way Nico Pass was missing and not scoring on
Yeah, I
that
mean
one.
it wasn't easy. He
Uh,
had to stretch and still shoot it around the keeper, but Nico Paz is class. So
and Como needs to like squeeze anything and everything that they can out of Nico Pass for the remainder of this season because
he's out.
I think it's pretty much established already that Madrid are gonna bring him back
Yeah,
to Spain for next season. It's gonna be interesting to see.
where and how he plays, right?
Yes, because I think he's definitely coming off the bench. Hopefully, he gets some playing time over there, given that he's literally the go-to at Como and has made them relevant in the Serie A.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, it would be interesting to see granted, how the rest of the season goes for Como. But if Nico Pass ends up leaving, moving into next season, right, what impact does that have on them as well?
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, good matchup, right? Obviously, with this one, that gives Inter a 7 point lead at the top of the table. Napoli 4 points behind Roma, then behind Milan, sorry, and Roma 3 points behind Napoli, with Juve 1 point behind Roma. So I think very, very contested at the top of the table still.
Yeah.
Um, I think for some of the other teams, Juve may be getting there. I think if they slip, let a couple of more points go, and Inter get a few more points of a lead, then it's gonna be done for Juve.
It's
I
already
think
done for
definitely
Juve.
Milan are still in it, and I wouldn't count Napoli out either, even though Inter have 11 points on Napoli. They're still the Champions League, right? Which I think it's a great segue to talk about how frustrating,
Not
how
for long.
embarrassing. I think of a couple of other adjectives to
Yeah.
describe the Italian team's performances in the Champions League playoffs to try to qualify for the round of 16.
Yeah.
Right, starting with Atalanta getting beat 2-0 by Borussia Dortmund.
When we saw
I
in the first
expected
half.
Atalanta to put up a little bit more of a fight in this one.
Yeah, me too. They really couldn't create a lot, right? Borussia is a very well organized team. Um, Guirassi and Maximilian Bayer, or however you pronounce his last name, they're really good strikers, attacking players as well.
That was a
Um,
great header for that
yeah,
first goal as
I
well.
think it's a pretty, it's not like Dortmund was, I guess, completely dominant, and you could see where Atalanta had a couple of chances to do a couple of things, right, and take a couple shots on goal, but it just wasn't enough. Atalanta had more possession, but just Borussia Dortmund did way better with the ball when they had it. And then when you have these top class players, and I'm not saying they're like world class Guirassi and Bayer, but they're pretty cold finishers. They're known, right, for their quality up front, and these are the types of players that usually make the difference in tight games like these.
Yeah, but tough for Atalanta, right? Because I think this one was at home. Now they got to go to Germany
No, no,
for
no.
the second
They
leg.
were Germany. They were Germany. So
Okay,
they
so
play
at
at
least
home.
they play at home, right? I would say that
Yeah,
they still have a shot, right? 2-0 down is not bad. You get one goal, and it's game on. The nerves start creeping in,
yeah,
right? Anything can happen, and you're playing at home. You have that extra man in your home crowd. But I was a little bit surprised that Atalanta didn't create more opportunities in this one. Maybe not score a goal, but at least create more opportunities.
yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
German football, like you said, organized, very tactical, probably game planned and prepared perfectly for this matchup, and it showed in the results. Let's see if now Atalanta can turn it around moving into next week. And then we had Galatasaray playing versus Juve on this one. This was another crazy match.
Yep. Uh, Terrible result, obviously, for Juve. Complicated by just very stupid decisions by Cambiaso, like in the first half. Uh,
First off, what do you think of the lineup? Right, he had McKinney playing essentially number 9.
well, McKinney had a
Right,
really good
mine.
assist because the problem is Jonathan David became injured last minute, right? So we don't have a number 9. Vlaovic is out. Milik is out. Openda and Boga are not really number nines, right? So
Yep.
he didn't really have somebody that could play there. So he basically played with Kenan Yildiz as a false nine, and then
It's
McKennie
like,
and
I don't have any.
Conceição
What do you typically
behind them.
do if you're Juve and you have a hole?
McKennie,
You call McKenny.
yeah, just put McKennie. McKennie like MacGyver, but he's McKennie. You just put him in wherever you need to plug somebody in. The crazy thing is like we couldn't make the most out of a brace from Cope Miners. Like Cope Miners, who've been playing like shit the entire season, finally has a good game, and just look at
Scores twice,
yeah, just
and nobody else is
Locatelli,
ever to get on the scoring sheet.
Locatelli, Cambiaso, Kelly. Um, I don't think they should be playing on this team. I think Kelly, maybe Kelly had a bad game. He's had better games. But the minute Bremer comes out with an injury in the 34th, the defense looks like, the surface of the moon with just craters all over it. It's just, there's no consistency, there's no defensive solidity. And then the minute the Bremer's not in the match, like you would just crumble like a cookie. Uh,
Yeah.
Cope Miners put them ahead, but then Cambiaso
Great
gets
second goal, by the way. That second goal from Cope Miners
beautiful
was
shot.
was awesome.
Great assist by McKennie playing the number 9 spot as
Yep.
well with his back to the goal, like showing the strikers how it's supposed to be done. He does everything, that guy, but I mean he can't win every game by himself, so he needs some help. And Locatelli doesn't help. Cambiaso doesn't help. They are biggest problems because the problem is we don't have anybody replace them that could actually play in a similar fashion, right? Because Kostic is not defensive, so he can't play a fullback. And then
What do you think of Galatasaray's second goal? Do you think that was on the keeper? Do you think that was more the defense?
I don't know, man. It's just a combination of a comedy errors, man. Like it's Di Gregorio's not had a great season
Because
either.
I felt Di Gregorio just he literally put it perfectly right in the middle of
Yeah,
the box.
I just don't understand, man. Like why they keep making it's like mental mistakes, right? And that
and
to
and the
me
third one wasn't a lot better.
the
Because
difference
it
between the top players and the players that play for Juve right now is mentality. Right? I think these players don't have like a lot of them don't have a killer mentality. Like you can see McKennie, Yildiz, Bremer, like they do have that mentality. Maybe Kefren Turam also tries to do that. But everybody else is just like weak mentally. Conceição is weak mentally. Locatelli is weak mentally. Cambiaso is weak mentally. Kelly is weak mentally. And I think that's just reflected in the
I think
result.
on this one, unfortunately for Cambiaso, a lot of the opportunities that ended up in goals were coming from his side.
Yeah, because nobody could handle Yilmaz. Yilmaz was basically just eating them up on that left side. And what happens? Spalletti takes out Cambiaso because Cambiaso's having serious troubles with Yilmaz. He's already on a yellow. So he's trying to avoid a Kalulu situation where he loses a player in the first half because of a red card. So he takes Cambiaso out, and then stupid ass Cabal comes in and gets sent off with 2 red cards in less than like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that for me was the most idiotic part. It's like, dude, you just literally got the first yellow card.
It's Cabal is an
Such
idiot,
a
like
dumb
that's the
mistake.
thing. Cabal is like a big, fast, talented player, but he's stupid as hell. When you see him playing, he makes the dumbest possible mistakes always. Like you can tell like he was not a great student at school, and I'm glad he found football and he's making his life, like he's making money playing, but he should be doing it at a different team. I don't know. He's so talented physically. He has so much potential, but his mind is just not where it's supposed to be.
His football IQ maybe
Yeah.
is not up to par.
No, and the same goes for Kelly. Kelly, why are you stopping that ball there? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's mistakes that you're supposed to be. You're playing in the Champions League. This is not the USL. Like, you gotta do better.
But that Cabal mistake, right? that makes the difference of being maybe going back home with a just a one goal right for Galatasaray, or maybe even an even tie
Yeah,
going back home versus now, right? You're going back home 3 goals down, right, with essentially a mountain to climb.
yeah. It's just ridiculous. We were basically we were tied until that stupid mistake, basically, and it's just we keep seeing the same thing over and over, and it's just mentality. It's mentality, and Locatelli's just not good enough to play here. I'm sorry. Like we need a true regista, somebody that actually has got some brains and also some balls, right? Because this guy's weak mentally. He's mentally weak, and we need in the midfield.
Yeah, so you were saying, right, Locatelli, you need a better regista at Juventus.
Absolutely.
Certainly, I would say somebody more consistent. I think he's has his had his bright spots, right? And he did show hard in that game against Inter. Maybe you saw it more like a lucky shot. I think he meant that shot and he scored the goal. But he just makes a lot of dumb mistakes. Same with Cambiaso and just
Yeah.
stupid giveaways that cost you a goals.
Yeah.
And especially when you don't have Bremer in the back. Like when you have Bremer, that's the importance of Bremer because hey, he usually is able to turn that around, right, to make
Yeah.
up for those kind of mistakes.
Yeah, and Di
But
Gregorio
not
isn't
having
doing it
him,
much better. I think it's very sad to say it though, but we have an Italian player problem. We have an Italian player problem. We have a problem where a lot of people have been following Juve for
but
many many
Miretti's been
years.
playing well.
Yeah, but a lot of players, a lot of people have been following Juve for many many years. Remember, like all the strongest Juve teams have had 6 7 players, 6 7 have 6 7 players in the national team who were
And
playing at
world class
Juve,
players,
world
right?
class
Because we're talking
players,
about Buffon,
starters,
Del Piero, Chiellini,
Cannavaro,
Bonucci.
Barzagli, Bonucci,
Exactly.
Zambrotta. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? And
yeah.
then right now, we basically have we are forced to play Italian players because of a cultural, because it's in the culture of the club. But the problem is that the Italian players that we are playing, with the exception of Miretti, who has done more than I guess we expected. It's not like he's a 40 class that's gonna just make us win every match, but he's a decent player.
No,
But
it's a good prospect.
our captain is a mediocre footballer, and whenever has Juve's captain been a mediocre footballer? That's a big problem. Ever since Del Piero left, we haven't had another captain that's been kind of like a symbol for the team. Like Chiellini was it for a little bit, right until Chiellini left. But then after Chiellini left, like there's been just a leadership vacuum, and Locatelli is not the guy. The guy has to be somebody who is a top level player. If you want to be a captain at Juve, you can't be a mediocre midfielder who wouldn't start in any other big team in the league.
I think it always needs to be like a mix of tenure at the club with skill level,
Yeah,
right?
but
Because
but
that
but
gives you
Inter,
both
they're not
power on
hung up.
both.
They're not hung up at Inter about the captain being Italian. You know what I mean? They'll give the
No,
armband to Lautaro
no.
because
The captain
he
is
is
Lautaro.
the
When Lautaro
captain,
goes off, it
right?
goes to Barella.
And it's a personality thing.
If not, it
Lautaro,
goes to Bastoni.
you can tell Lautaro is the captain because he just like there's games where he won't let his team lose and he will
Yeah.
do the things that need to be done. Locatelli cannot do that. He just doesn't have the skill
I would
to
just give
do that.
McKenny the armband. I think he's the one that
I
deserves
agree.
it the most,
I
quite
agree.
frankly, right now at
I agree.
Juve.
I agree.
Especially with how Juve have used him. Like essentially, he's been playing every single position.
Yeah.
Whenever Juventus needs somebody, McKenny's usually the duct tape that's used to plug that hole, plug the
Yeah.
leak to make sure that
It's
at
either
least you
him
stay
or
afloat.
Kalulu. Kalulu. I know he made that dumb mistake in the Inter game, but Kalulu had before that had basically played every single minute of the season. Those were the first. That's the first time he steps off the field this season. So between Kalulu and McKenny, that's the example everybody else should be following. You know. Then you got Bremer. But he gotta get healthy. I think he's not mentally here yet. Uh, but Kenan Yildiz has great mentality, but he's the type of player that needs a lot of help in order to be effective. And we've seen in the last 3 games they've shut him down completely.
What would you say percentage wise the probability or chances of Juve turning it around at home next week?
I think it's like 20%. I was talking to Yusuf, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if Juve go up 3-0 in the first half, and then they let Galatasaray score in the 88th minute, like with a very stupid mistake by Locatelli or some shit. You know,
I agree. I think Juve can definitely score three. I think the most important thing is going to be them not
they're
conceding
gonna concede. They're
any
gonna
goals,
score
which
three,
is
and then they're gonna lose like in the 87th
yeah,
or in the
which is
89th
easier
minute.
said than done, right? I got to give props to Galatasaray as well because they've have some ex Serie A players there as well that have been doing awesome, right? Since like Icardi,
Osimhen,
Osimhen, Torreira,
yeah,
right? They got a Lang who scored twice in this match. Just came from a short stint at Napoli
Napoli.
as well.
Yilmaz
So
was
props to
unstoppable, bro. Like that guy in this game was just a nightmare. He was a
and
nightmare.
Osimhen, even though he didn't score in this one, dude, like the impact that he has
Yeah,
on the
he's
game as
incredible.
well, it's
Like
it's it's impressive.
that's how you can tell that he's a number 9, right? Like he got a real
Yeah.
number 9 in there, and that's the type of thing he could do. Like he could win the ball back to the goal and lay it off for his teammates and just create trouble for the defense anywhere he
And will
stands.
celebrate when one of his teammates scores. He'll celebrate like he scored the goal as well,
Exactly.
which is
That's
cool
the
to see
type
as
of
well.
player you want.
He's that type of player.
Yeah, and there's a lot
Yeah, I
of
think Napoli kind of dropped the ball on that one.
and so did Juve because there's a lot of talk about Juve trying to get Osimhen, and then they didn't really make a move. But I think Napoli
Mm.
is driving the price up because they don't want to sell him to Juve, which is normal.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. I would do the same for sure. And then we
Exactly.
had wrapping things up for the Italian teams. Unfortunately, in the UEFA Champions League, we have Bodo Glimt, who are the kind of the surprise this edition of the Champions
Yeah,
League. Right,
definitely.
have already gotten good results against Atletico Madrid and City. Not surprising to me, honestly. I felt that Inter this was a very dangerous match, and I thought that Inter could end up tying or even losing this one. Being
Yeah.
honest, I was more surprised about the impact that playing in those conditions were having on the Inter players. You could see they were not sharp at all. I'm just happy nobody got injured because they looked like they made a move every now and then, and it looked like they almost like pulled something, and I'm like, holy shit, like
Yeah,
what's
it's
going
not
on? But they
easy. It's
just look
cold.
completely out of sorts.
Yeah.
Right? Props to Bologlint as well. I think what we mentioned before, there's teams from leagues that don't have a lot of spots in the UEFA Champions Leagues that are doing really well. We saw how Norway did against Italy in the qualifying round for the World Cup. If it wasn't for Norway, Italy would be in the World Cup.
Yep.
It's just a ridiculous mountain to climb, literally, with the freaking big ass Vikings that they have. Kind of similar in Bologlin. They have a ton of heart, right? They were playing at home. They're used to those conditions.
Yeah.
People may think that doesn't have an impact, but it's like for people here in the U.S. Whenever like basketball players in the NBA bitch and complain about playing in Denver in altitude, right? You may think it doesn't have an impact, but it does have an impact, especially if one team is accustomed to playing under those conditions and the other isn't.
Yeah. Do
But
Do you think
great goals, some
Kivu?
good goals
Do you think
from
Kivu did
Bolo in this one.
well when it comes to some of the decisions he made as far as like resting people like Dimarco, who did not start this match, and then playing Darmian, who actually played pretty well. I think Darmian had a pretty good
Darmian
game.
played well. Yeah,
Uh,
Darmian played solid. I don't mind Dimarco because he played last match. He played the entire game against Juve, which he
right.
usually doesn't do, and we've been relying on him a ton.
Mhm.
Right now, he's the best and most informed player at Inter, so you definitely want to protect him. So I don't mind that decision. I think just the combination of not playing him, not playing Zielinski, not playing Bisek, who's been playing awesome as well, because Bisek has kind of made up for the fact that we really haven't found a good attacking option for Dumfries. because you have Bisek being able to come in on that right side and help and create opportunities, right, and be dangerous from that side of the pitch.
Yeah.
So I think it was more of a combination of the amount of rotations that he did for this match that had a bigger impact. That and the fact that I don't know if they just took it lightly or if the conditions were just so terrible that they were just like, let's get this shit over with. Um, but I was not surprised that they lost. I was more surprised that they lost by 2 goals, right? And some of those, the second and the third goal, at least the third one, kind of pissed me off because it literally looked like it was like a training session for the Bolo
For
players.
Bodo, yeah.
Um, so that was surprising. Surprised that they didn't show a little bit more fight, but honestly, I could see it. I've never seen it like on the players how it impacts the way that they're able to play. It looked like they hadn't warmed up. Honestly, that's what it kind of looked like when they were playing. Like
Yeah.
they just hadn't warmed up. They were not sharp. They were making dumb mistakes. Like their touches were, and also I know it's artificial grass. I don't know if that
Yeah, it's
have
Turkish.
played a little bit into it as well. But listen, at the end of the day, right, other teams have struggled there. Apparently, it's one of those places where it's hard to get a win. Uh, it's evident, right, with the teams that have dropped points. I wouldn't say that Bolo are this amazing fucking squad. I would say it's just a struggle for teams to play in under those conditions on artificial grass, right? And maybe they haven't fielded their best 11. But I still feel positive, right? I would say probably like 65 to 70%, I would say confident that Inter can turn it around at home. It's only a
I agree.
2 goal lead, right? Score one, get right back into things. This is same as Juve, right? They can score 2-3 in the first half and then make it a game. But similar to you, it's just going to be interesting to see like if they can protect their goal as they go chase down
Yeah.
and hunt for those
That's
goals.
that's my concern, right? Like I'm not concerned on whether Inter or Juve can score the goals they need to score. I think Inter are better at defending their own goal, although in this game it didn't seem like it. But like you said, conditions were spotty. But I think at home they're gonna be way more comfortable doing. If they're able to get the 2 goals in, I think they're gonna be way more comfortable sitting back and and then countering, and playing the game that they know how to play down the flanks and such. I think you will have a way more difficult task because first of all, Galatasaray is a better team, like in terms of the quality of the players that they're fielding.
Yep.
It's even better than Juve from an offensive perspective. The people that they have up front are way better than the
More
strikers that Juve have.
consistent, and players have been playing together for a while already.
Correct.
They know how to play with each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Osimhen is the type of striker that you want on your team, and if you have a striker like that, it makes a lot of a difference. It's and like it used to be in the NBA back in the '90s. If you have a good center, right? Like if you have that type of player,
Yeah.
it'll help you. It can make a difference in the match. Like when the games are tight, you have that big guy. You could just throw the ball into the box, and he'll create something by just pulling people out of positions. If you don't have that,
Yeah.
like Juve don't, then you have to have diagonal runs into the box. Somebody's
Which
gonna
was
have to
one of the
beat
goals,
somebody.
right, that he created today. I can't remember who had the ball for Juve with the back towards their own goal. But I think Osimhen didn't even get a touch. He just applied pressure that forced the
Yeah,
Juve player to have a bad touch. It landed right in front of a Galatasaray player sprinting towards the goal. Easy pudding.
ridiculous. Yeah.
But that came from Osimhen's pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's the difference that type of player makes in the match. So, I mean, that's the type of player you will need to be shopping for, unless they can get Vlahovic to renew for like a reasonable amount, and then Spalletti gets the best out of Vlahovic. I think we should be looking in the market for a number 9 because we desperately need it. Anyways,
But if
what?
I'm being honest, right, obviously worst display possible for the Italian teams in the
Yeah,
first leg.
not a good look.
But I think probably all three of these can turn it around.
Yeah,
Will all three turn it around? I doubt it.
yeah,
Right, so we're definitely going to see some, at least one or two Italian clubs. I feel go out. I would say Inter probably have the better chance of going through.
well,
Then probably I would
Atalanta,
give Juve the
Atalanta are
chance.
not that far back. Like they're also
That's what
only
I'm
two
saying.
goals
That
back.
playing at home, only having to make up 2 goals, it's not that big of a stretch, right? It's
Yeah,
I think Juve have the bigger mountain to climb, because
Yeah,
not
because
only
it's
it's the
three.
biggest lead that they have to gonna climb back from, but they're playing against the better team out of the three opponents.
And Cambiaso and Cabal can't play. So two of our left backs. So
Versus Inter, that we're gonna have Chalanoglu, right? We're gonna have probably Turam and Lautaro starting up front. We're gonna have Bisek back, right? We're gonna have Zielinski start. We're probably the only one that we're probably not gonna have. We're gonna have Dimarco back. It's gonna be Dumfries, who's probably not gonna be back by then. But I think we're in a good spot to turn it around.
yeah.
And before wrapping things up for today, taking a quick look at the next match day and some of the matches that we got coming up.
So Juve Como
Um,
next Saturday.
Juve
It's
Como,
a good
definitely
match.
one of the key matchups, and I would say the other one, more than likely,
Atalanta
is
Napoli.
Atalanta Napoli.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's going to be a very interesting matchup as well. Keep an eye on Atalanta. I would actually favor Atalanta in that matchup right now, the way that they're playing.
Playing at home
Juve
too.
and Como, right? I think haven't gotten the best results, especially on the US side. But I think that's worse for Como, because I think Juve is going to come out like a bat out of hell
Yeah.
with a point to
And
prove.
and Juve's at home
Um,
as well. So they're playing at the Allianz. So you are very
So
hard to
hopefully
beat
we
there.
get two good matches there. No red cards, no freaking referees having a big impact, right, on the match, especially early on, so we can enjoy some two solid matches from two teams that are at least contending for European spots this season.
Yeah.
Milan playing against Parma, right? We expect Milan to walk away with a win there. Inter playing against Lecce, I would say the same. Right, Sassuolo playing against Verona sucks for Verona, because Sassuolo's been playing better, so it looks like they're going to be staying at the bottom of the table
Yeah.
and not going anywhere. Fiorentina playing against Pisa, so
Two interesting
maybe continue to
matchups
get some points.
as well, like Genoa Torino, which is a very important game for Genoa because they want to definitely get out of that relegation zone where they're in the three-way tie. And then also Bologna Udinese is going to be a very interesting game to see if Bologna can keep their streak going or whether they go back down to the defeat category. So at least 3 or 4 nice matches to look at for the next match day. We'll be reviewing everything right here on your favorite soccer show.
We appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for joining. That's been another Serie A recap of Match Day 25. Marco Romano, Tito Yang. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And peace.